Hey guys, so this video is something different, but it's still a video that might help you PC gamers out there get that juicy aim trained. So starting off, I've never used aim trainers before. The first aim trainer I've used was Aim Booster, which all of you can also try using. It's free. It doesn't cost. You can customize game modes and the sizes of the targets however you like. Although it's not efficient training, you're aimed through a web browser because it's 2D and the games are 3D and have a field of view and so on. Aim Booster might make you faster in clicking UIs, and that's just that. Or if you want to flex to your friends, you know. There's another aim trainer called Aimlab. Also doesn't cost. Since it's free, it's okay, but if it costed money, it would be totally garbage. Here's why. First, I really don't like how you have to click play like 3 times to get into a scenario and then wait 5 seconds every time. Even if you want to restart, if you mess up or something, you gotta wait that 5 seconds, which is really frustrating and it's a waste of time. Other than that, my aiming feels really weird compared to any other games like Valorant. Even if I have the right field of view set and the sensitivity, you can still train with Aimlab, but it's really not that efficient, and the game modes that Aimlab offer are not challenging nor hard. The grid shot is a popular game mode which a lot of people train their aim with. It really doesn't train your aim, just makes you get muscle memory for that game mode. And that's it. I can score 150k or higher in this game mode if I really wanted to, but I still aim the same in games as games have their own mechanics, and training grid shot 24/7 every single day for some minutes won't make you aimbot. That game mode would be good for warming up for 5 to 10 minutes, and that's all. Spider Shot is a nice game mode all about precision and speed. Try aiming in a nice and smooth linear line rather than flick randomly. When aim training, they're supposed to be relaxed. Normally, if I try hard, I just perform worse, so it's best to play calmly. Motion shot is also a mode I liked. The small targets that can appear might be challenging, but when you get used to it, it's very easy to hit them, and once you start plateauing, which means you'd reach the peak point where you get the same score, never higher, with the same speed, and perform the same all the time. Mostly that happens in tracking because I find tracking targets the hardest in aiming. And I'll be honest, Aimlab has the worst tracking mechanics. You have to hover your mouse on the target, and that's it. You don't even have to hold your left click, which is just terrible. So basically, if you want to use Aimlab, you sure can, but there's a better alternative to that. Kovaak's. Kovaak's aim trainer is so far the best aim trainer I've seen or used, and it does cost money on Steam. I bought it for a sale for $5 when it was 50% off, but hey, the money you spend for it is worth the price for sure. $10? Yeah. Kovaak has many customizable things, customizable scenarios. You can make your own scenarios, edit them, so on and so on, and it's plain and simple. There is very easy scenarios to goated and challenging scenarios, which can definitely be fun to try out and practice on. My favorite ones are Tile Frenzy, 1 wall, 6 targets, Reflex Click, Pet Target Switch, Tile Frenzy Flick, and lastly the one where you shoot a bot that keeps going up the stairs over and over. And honestly, it's really fun practicing aim in these scenarios and even getting placed in the leaderboard. The most important thing to know when practicing is never change your sensitivity back and forth. Stick to one and just practice. Field of view has to be on the game you're playing, so if you play Warzone, you can set the FOV to Overwatch and 120. Since Overwatch and Warzone uses the same FOV measurements. If you're playing Valorant, change it to Valorant and 103. As for Life After is a third-person shooter, and I don't know the field of view of it, so I still stick with first-person shooter. To have the same sensitivity across all the games, simply what you can do is just do a 360 on your mousepad, measure the centimeters, how many centimeters you need to do a 360 on your mousepad. Mine is 16 centimeters for a 360. That means if your 360s take less centimeters in other games you play, you need to adjust your sensitivity to do that 360 within 16 centimeters, which means that will be the right sense. It also depends if you're using 60 Hz or 144 Hz or 240 Hz monitor. Depends what mouse you use and what mousepad you use. Hard pads are fast but lack stopping power, which is kind of what you need when aiming. Personally, I use a fast pad, which is the HyperX Fury S, and it's a very good pad. It has precision, stopping power, and is a pretty fast pad too. It does have friction, which is what you also need when aiming, but not as much. I will drop a link in the description for a mousepad chart, and for the best mouse out there, it all depends on the shapes of the mouse, the grip used for the mouse, and the weight. A guy named Rocket Jump Ninja has reviewed lots of mice in the past, so you should check out his channel or search any mouse that you want. He will for sure have a video on it. He also has a website of the specifications of all the mouses and listed in the rankings. Now when it comes to scenario training, and you want to really improve your aim, you will need to mix up things and not play the same scenarios every single day over and over. There's a guy called Aimer7 that has a really good guide on how to train your aim properly and efficiently on your daily basis. Link will be in description. The best thing about Kovaaks, you can set keybinds to restarting the scenario. So for example, if you mess up or you want a good score, you press a key on your keyboard and it restarts the scenario back to normal. Also, when you practice your aim, you might look or care about the score. Don't look at the score, don't even bother. Focus on training your aim, not getting your scores high. I highly suggest turning off the UI, especially the challenging timer, which removes time left for the scenario, and turning off the gun so you can see more while aiming. You can also change the sound effects and visuals for the scenario. Once you practice enough for over a month or longer, you will notice the improvement of aim and speed. You will probably need to do the beginner scenarios for a long amount of time until you progress and get better, and then you can move on a more difficult and challenging scenario. And no, your aim won't improve insanely in one day or in a month or in 2 months. It all depends on how you do it and how healthy you train it. Overtraining might get you wrist injuries, which is really what you don't want. Not training enough is just no good. So one scenario of training for 10 minutes is pretty solid. There will be times where you just won't be able to break your high scores anymore. You keep getting the same scores over and over. For that to fix, you would need to find the same scenario but in a harder difficulty. For example, the current scenario I'm doing, the targets are big, so I would need to find the same scenario but with the target smaller. That means I will need to focus more on hitting the targets and just gain that muscle memory. And watch, when you come back and do the other scenario where the targets were bigger, you will notice a difference. It will be easier. If you have any concerns or questions, you can join my Discord, link in the description, and I'm always there to answer. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. That's it for this vid. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.